Janet, try it like it, create it, and today we're going to be doing a watercolor stenciling technique. So I have watered down my paper, my brush is wet, and I have started to put water onto my watercolor paints, and I am just going to excuse me, create a background of greens here. And so we want the greens or the background color, whatever you choose, you want it to be pretty intense. Now, when watercolor dries, it does get lighter. So make sure you have enough color to not only cover your area that you want to work with, but that you have enough pigment down as well. I'm going to give that a dry and then see how it looks. All right, so here you can see that I have applied a little bit more color, and I have traced where I want to cut for my tag. And it all seems to be dry except for this little corner that I'm cutting off. So I think I'm okay with that. And I'm working on, if I didn't say so, I'm working on watercolor paper. As I dried the first layer, I went back in with my brush, a wet brush, and just kind of painted back on top of it to get a little bit more pigment in the areas that I wanted. All right. And so now I'm pretty happy with this. And now what we're going to do is use a stencil. And I am grabbing a baby wipe. You could use a cloth with some water. Whatever works best for you. And then I have a stencil here. And this is a stencil I made. But any stencil will work. And you want a damp cloth. And you want to go back in and start to remove the watercolor. Right, and let's see how that looks. It's nice. And so we're just going to go around our tag. You can see removing, and if you need to, you can also, spray water into your stencil area. There's a little lifting happening there, but that's fine. But you're going to get a really unique look. And always go and work with a clean area on your rag. The more you rub, the lighter that image is going to look. And it can look more ghost-like or more defined, depending on how much work you put into removing it. I think I want to do one more, something similar to that one over here. And you can see here that with the shape of this stencil here that I'm doing, I am pulling in towards the stem, because if I were to push out, these will lift up on me, all right? And I don't want to alter the design of the leaf pattern. So I'm just gonna pull into the center there. I think that's looking really nice. Now, of course, we can go back into this and continue to do more work. You could color these areas in. I'm just adding a few dots here for texture. You could add more color into these areas that you're cleaning off. You can layer additional color on top. You could spray on top of this. You could add some papers, But there, that makes a really unique and interesting looking background. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of splatter it with some color, and then maybe add a word, punch a hole, and call it done. But this is the basic technique I wanted to show you, was watercolor and lifting the watercolor with a stencil. All right, so to finish off my tag, I have a few elements here that I want to use. And the first one that I grabbed was this statement piece in the middle here that is from Paige Evans. I grabbed it at Ollie's when they were on sale, and it's from Splendid Phrases, and it says, "You are beautiful." So we're going to use that. I have this flower button that I created as an ephemera piece. I have a little green circle, and I have a flower cutout that was part of making those button type pieces. And so I just want to glue these down to my background and get this on pretty quickly, because I need these pieces to fit behind this card the way I want them to. So you can see here I'm a little off with the flower, so I need to lift that up and bring it down so it sticks out at the bottom. And I'm very crooked, so I need to reposition that. Okay, I think that's good. And then the last thing is to apply our flower, which I'm going to put generous amount of glue in the center, but not on the petals itself, and place that on top there. And then I'm going to call that tag done for this week.